Good evening, everybody. My name is Santiago Ortegon, and today we're going to talk again about the Venezuelan migration crisis and its impact that it has had in Latin America. So let's start by saying that this migration crisis started in the early 2014, but many academics have said that it comes all the way back to the early 2000s with the administrations of Hugo Chavez. Now, the main concern and the main issue began in 2014. Now, in this presentation, I'm gonna talk about 4 points, really important. The first one being the migration definition, just to understand what it is for the sake of this presentation. The second one being the Venezuelan crisis, the migration crisis, and its specific reasons why they left their country. The third one is going to be the Venezuelan impact, or the Venezuelan migration impact that it has had in Latin America. The fourth one is what should be done for this crisis, and we're going to wrap it up with a short conclusion. So let's start by defining migration. Migration, there is no international recognized definition to pretty much say what migration is. For the sake of this presentation, we're going to define migration as the movement of people to another country to reside in that destination. This movement can happen due to motivations of the person, perception or the cultural political situation, the perception of the current political situation, or the opportunities of self-improvement and personal and professional growth in another country. Now, the Venezuelan migration it derives from many reasons. Now, the main reason is due to a political socio-economic crisis. Now, according to Human Rights Watch, there are also many other reasons, like extremely low quantity of medicine that sometimes it has led to medical trafficking right in the border between Venezuela and Colombia in the province, if you will, of Santander. There has also been a lack of medical and food input. Public services hardly ever work. Health services are barely operational, and there is a lot of violence in the country. Now, regarding human rights violation, there has been a lot of arbitrary detentions to citizens, military trials, tortures, and many more violations alike. Regarding the impact in Latin America, according to United Nations High Committee for Refugees in 2020, is estimated that over 4.7 million people have been displaced. Over 2 million people have decided to ask for another ways of legalize or standardize their situation in the countries that have received them, because if they ask for asylum, it's going to take too long and they need to get a job or to get some health services. Those who have asked for asylum, there has been 760,000 according to United Nations High Committee for Refugees, and the impact that it has had in Latin America is that Colombia have received over 1.3 million people, Peru 768,000 people, Chile 288,000 people, Ecuador 263,000 people, Brazil 168,000 people, that if it were not for the border and the Amazonian jungle, it would have been more, and Argentina 130,000 people. The High Committee for Refugees helped those countries in the reception in the borders, the assistance to basic needs, the legal assistance, sensibilization campaigns against discrimination and xenophobia, and in building emergency shelters. Now, what I believe that should be done is that, as studied, many people said, or many academics have said, that all these countries have done the reception and the migration controls by themselves. They haven't worked as a region, and they have do it in an individual effort. Now, what I believe should be done is that the region by itself understands the crisis that is going and the problem that it is, and work together. Now, the Venezuelan crisis is one with no precedents and with such magnitude that it has never been seen in the region. Now, these migrants are under vulnerable conditions, and many more are arriving to other countries like Colombia, like Peru, like Argentina, and there have been many, many other more that have received them, such as United States or Spain. Now, as a personal point of view, and since I'm Colombian, I have experienced the Venezuelan crisis in my country and in my city. I believe that migration, as I have said before, should be a work among all the countries in the region. It shouldn't be an individual effort. It should be a joint work. Now, there's also another good thing about migration that I would like to say before I finish, is that sometimes it is seen as an economical problem, but sometimes it works otherwise. Instead, they create new businesses. The high skilled workers, they start working in good conditions of living, and all in all, they have contributed to diversify and enrich, in this specific scenario, the Latin American region. Now, in conclusion, I have talked about what migration is, the impact that it has had in Latin America, the numbers by the United Nations High Committee for Refugees, and what I believe should be done to handle this issue. Unfortunately, there is no time for questions and answers, but I hope this message is clear. And if you have any questions, then I will be glad to answer those questions in my email. Thank you very much, and have a good day.